When I think about the current state of affairs in the commercial brokerage arena, it really is quite fragmented. You have three companies, all public companies, all 100-year-old companies, by the way, CBRE, JLL, and Cushman Wakefield, who are the big three by far. Those three I estimated that they collect 50% of all commercial real estate commissions in the industry, and I lay that out in the book. And the reason for that is because they have very powerful national account, business-oriented salespeople. So they are able to acquire all of the business of a company on a national or global basis, and that's hard to compete with. Then you've got the second tier franchise organizations, NAI, Sperry, Coldwell Banker Commercial, some of these companies that, Colliers, that have been able to build very nice, profitable networks on a much smaller basis. The big difference between the first tranche and the second tranche, though, is that there's no comparison on the national accounts basis, on the global corporate services, as it's often known. So you've got the top tranche with very powerful, lots of intra-network business. You've got the second tranche where there's been collections, I think, of powerful brokers in different markets. And then you've got the third tranche, which is the either standalone firms or the small regional firms that oftentimes are like boutiques, actually. So you've got three different tranches in terms of the service providers. You've got, so that's one way of thinking about sort of the fragmented industry. I think the second thing that we continue to struggle with as an industry is this average age question, which we've talked about before, I've talked about before, in the sense that we've got a very baby boomer oriented sales force. And as those baby boomers choose to age out, and they may age out quicker if they're induced to do so, either because there are opportunities for them to enjoy the wealth they've created, or they get chased by a pandemic. But when those baby boomers age out, there's going to be a pretty radical demographic shift. And then finally, as we are now seeing, the onset of technology is really pounding down the door in commercial real estate. We have seen the rise of Michael Beckerman's organization, CRE Tech, to the point where thousands of people attend his conferences, and we listen to his speakers detail the millions, almost billions of dollars that are being invested in technology for the purpose of making the commercial real estate arena either more transparent, more efficient, more data rich. A lot of that has not been done over the last several years. So in summary, we've got a pretty interesting thing going on here. Demographic change at play. We've got a technology change at play, if you will. And because we have these three large players, all of whom are over 100 years old, but also those players are big enough to maybe be candidates to merge or to be acquired by another consulting firm. I wrote a book in which I even offer the premise that they could be acquired by someone like Amazon. I mean, Amazon can effectively do whatever it wants. It owns a lot of real estate. It might acquire one of these big players for the purposes of servicing their real estate. So we're in an industry that is just trembling with change, in my opinion.